The Slater is not a good game. It's not the worst, but it's still unsatisfying. It feels like a ripoff of the Hitman series, and it pretty much plays the same except without the creativity and ingenuity that you can put into your own gameplay to make it feel personalized and actually fun to be in that sandbox. However, with this game, it's more handholdy. Beginning with the story, it's about a drug called D-Pain and their manufacturers, and they end up being your father's killers. So you turn bad cop and go after them in your own revenge type story. It's very cliche and straight out of like the 80s cop type of movies where you're going against the law in order to fulfill your revenge. And like I said before, the gameplay is like the Hitman series, but in this one, you don't really get much to work with. For example, in the briefing before you go into the mission, you can't even change your loadout to bring something along or anything like that. And no one's even suspicious of any disguises you put on, even if you're dressing up as the groom and you walk past the bride, she'd look at you and not even take notice. I guess this sort of thing works with the guards because every single one of them is bald and your character's bald, but still, it just doesn't feel right. And there's no areas where you seem suspicious to other people. It's either you have access or the area is restricted. And if you go into the restricted area, there's no warning or grace period if you're caught. So if you are, it's basically game over for you. And the reason for that is an alert is basically a game over since every guard rushes to your position and you die instantly too. And there's no way to run and hide somewhere, you're just on your own. And when you eventually die from being caught, the death is the restart of the entire chapter. It's not really a fun, punishing type of thing because any type of mistake, even if it's like a glitch, not even your fault or anything of the sort, you get punished for it and you have to go through the whole chapter repeating everything you did. And in some chapters, you're forced to go through a couple steps in order to even infiltrate the place. So you're going to be wasting time doing that over and over if you keep messing up. Another bad design is how the highest disguise you can get is basically free roam, and nobody's suspicious, like I said before, that some guy that no one knows can just walk around with the new shiny badge that they just got off the dead body. It's just weird. And you can't influence the world around you, you have to play by the game's rules besides for some scripted events that you can influence, but even then it still feels restrictive because it's still scripted. It's not you deciding this whole trap to lure in the target in order to kill them. It just doesn't have that sandbox freedom that you expect from a Hitman game, so if you're expecting that of this game, you won't find it. All you're going to be doing is waiting for a certain NPC to go into a certain spot that's free of any witnesses, and so that you're able to choke them out and hide the body. And you're going to be spending a lot of time waiting for those cycles to happen for that exact moment. And if you don't end up hiding the body and somebody finds it, then everybody in the level just knows your location, knows it was you, and they all rush you despite you, even if you're like not anywhere near the body in the first place. And a lot of the game just feels like you're killing a person just to get the higher disguise or key in order to go to another restricted area to do the same thing until eventually you get to the target and you're able to kill them. The gameplay is just very straightforward. There's no freedom, no reason to explore, and no creativity. There's not really much you can pick up in the world except for like a couple things in each level, like rat poison to poison the target, but even then you have to go to where the target is and finish the job. You can't just like lay out some sort of plan to kill them passively. And there's also no way to pacify anybody, including the civilians. It's either you don't kill them or you kill them. The game itself is also a bit unpolished, like there's inverse text on the side of a van, or you might find clippings, or a lot of the time when I was going through the level, I'd always get stuttering issues. The animation is also on the stiff side of things, and there's not much in terms of soundtrack, graphics, or sound.
This is private property. Get the hell out of here. Hey, man, you look like you need a lap dance. What the? Oh! Oh! Oh!
What I did like though is how they showed like whenever you're hiding a body, you throw them into a closet or into like a chest, and that you put a camera right into the cabinet, and it shows the body going into it, and their face is right into the camera, so it gives like a nice morality to it, like, hey, this is an actual person that you're killing. But it's not like you have a choice since you can't pacify him in the first place. The cinematics are decent, but they suffer from the same animation problems as the gameplay, and the voice acting was very cliche and a bit cringy at times.
He knows what you have done. He might cause you some problems in the future.
Thanks, Billy. You call me if you hear anything else.
The Slater only offers 6 levels, and it takes about 5 hours to complete, depending on how you play. If you rush through it, you get through it in no time. I understand that this game was made by an indie developer with limited resources, but in all honesty, I wouldn't recommend the Slater. It's not terrible, but it's not worth the time despite how short it is. That's all for this one. Thank you for watching, and see ya.
Hey babes, I got a surprise for you. Do you want to see what's underneath my robe? Hey, I'm talking to you two. Fine, your loss.